Okay, so Sir Jim Ratcliffe has confirmed his bid for Manchester United. He already owns Nice in Ligue 1, and he also owns the Ineos-Grenadiers cycling team, formerly known as Team Sky. So he's not a sports ownership novice, which will go in his favour when it comes to the director's test. Now, his background is in petrochemicals and related industries. He owns the Ineos company. So, yeah, he just takes crude oil and converts it to everyday products. That's what his company does. That's where he's made his money. He's one of Britain's wealthiest individuals. His tax affairs is, I think, the weak point of his bid. He's obviously, there will be question marks over his tax affairs. Other than that, I can't see this being a negative bid. He was interested in buying Chelsea last year. He's had an interest in having a Premier League club for quite some time. So this is not an unexpected offer on the table. Why it's making news, however, is not the fact it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's the Qatari bid that's on the table as well. Considering what happened with Newcastle United in a 5-year process to sell that club from Mike Ashley's ownership to Amanda Staveley's, Saudi-backed consortium, and all the protests that went with that, and the question marks raised, and the human rights groups, getting involved with Amnesty International and others. The same kind of controversy does surround this Qatari bid. Now the spotlight's on Man City, to a certain extent PSG, not only with their ownership models, but with where the money comes from and human rights in sport and the term sports washing. Now, we've just had the Qatari World Cup, and I felt it was a decent World Cup. Was it the best World Cup? No. Was it the worst? No. But there was a lot of controversy in the build-up to that tournament, and there were certain little flashpoints within the tournament, on and off the field, where the mainstream media was a bit biased in their reporting in certain aspects for and against, but if you went on social media and looked at the fan experience, there was a lot of positives and there were some negatives. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as I say, the only issue I think with Sir Jim Ratcliffe putting in a bid is his tax affairs. He's based offshore for tax purposes, which won't necessarily please everyone. However, he's British and he's already owned a football club, and he's very interested in adding to his sports portfolio. He's experienced in sports ownership. He's not a novice when it comes to investing in sports. The Glazers are unpopular owners at Manchester United, very divisive owners. Their ownership model with the leveraged takeover, basically using other people's money to buy the club, and certain aspects of their investment within the infrastructure, not the playing group, the infrastructure. Old Trafford, proposals possibly to build a new stadium, or what they do with Old Trafford, the training ground, the structures at the club, the fact that they've gone through so many managers since Alex Ferguson. Even when Ferguson was still there, their success was slowly dropping off. And are they more interested in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they invest their money over Manchester United? They can make a lot of money out of selling this club off. They're not the only ownership group that are looking or seeking partial investment in by selling a stake or fully selling up. FSG at Liverpool as well are rumoured to be possibly wanting to sell a partial stake or a full takeover, put that club up for sale. But Manchester United seems to have gained traction, and the board have clearly stated deadlines that need to be met, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has met one of those deadlines to put in a formal bid. Now let's see how quickly the process, how quickly the wheels turn, and is this designed to head off the Qatari bid? Are there too many controversies with that? Will there be too many protests? Will it potentially get blocked like the Newcastle takeover was for 18 months? We'll see how this plays out, but I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe, a lot of people wanted him to buy Chelsea over Todd Boehly, because he's British, because he's already got that European sports ownership, and understands obviously European sport culture and how it all works. Todd Boehly, has he been a good owner at Chelsea so far? My views on Todd Boehly at Chelsea are mixed. The Glazers aren't popular owners. It seems that American owners have got the relationship between the fans and the club and how they do things wrong, and aren't overly popular over here. But not all North American owners are bad. Look at Wrexham. Their engagement has been perfect between Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney and the fan base and the community. But I think the Glazers definitely haven't got that relationship with their fan base. They're not very popular. A lot of the decisions they've made have not gone down well. And so we'll see how this plays out. What are your thoughts on Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirming his bid? I want to hear from Man United fans. I just want to hear from football fans in general. Is this a good takeover bids? Is this the right direction English football needs to go in? He has stated he wants more fan involvement with how Manchester United is run. He wants to have a better engagement with the fan base, and I think he wants to see ownership models change where fans have more engagement. I think he's playing upon that European Super League debacle. He's seen how Chelsea were handled, both the European Super League and the end of the Abramovich era. He's seen how the Newcastle process was blocked and then allowed. So he's not inexperienced with club ownership, but he's never owned an English football club, only a French one. So we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.